What is going on, everybody? It is Lukey Boy here today. Oh, I just realized my face isn't even in the video, but who cares? Right, I'm going to be talking about something that I always thought could happen, and it's now finally happened. It's just like one of those things, you know, like if you do Amazon, there's always something that comes up and you think, like a policy warning, going, oh, it's going to happen at some point. And what it is this little triangle here. It says this item cannot be bought or sold due to suspicious activity. Now, of course, I always know not to be buying these NFTs when it has this, because there is something that has happened either directly or indirectly through the users or through Opensea doing something to make this unable to be traded on their platform. Now, the weird thing is that me as a customer is actually now being penalized for something that probably is wrong somewhere along the lines. Okay, and now what do I mean by that? Well, if you come down here, you can see 9 months ago, this person, or 10 months ago, this person got this NFT. Okay, cool. Then sold this NFT to this person 9 months ago, and then they accepted a wrapped ETH bid from me 4 days ago. Yeah, just, you know, I woke up in the morning, came onto my account, I had this NFT. I was like, okay, cool, yeah. You know, I always come down here and check, does it look dodgy? Because obviously people can potentially dump it on you before issues arise. And so obviously you want to be careful that, you know, you're not getting dumped something that's from a wallet that's actually marked as suspicious, because that can be an indicator that you might get problems with that NFT later. Of course, in this case, there was nothing to indicate that at all. And I actually listed this instantly, just for like a bit of profit. You know, I just relisted it. Came back the next day, and it had a yellow triangle saying it's being investigated or something. So I then tried to dump it on another exchange below the floor, because I was like, well, sod that, I don't want to get this NFT tied up and basically worthless. So I basically just listed it at the floor on that blur.io account, because I'm like, well, I don't want to lose my whatever this is. How much is this? I have no idea how much this is actually worth, but it's not, you know, it's not tons of money, but it's $209. There we go. So it's not like, you know, an ETH or anything, but you kind of get what I'm talking about. Like, you know, imagine if it was 1 ETH, imagine if it was 5 ETH and that happened to you. It's like me as a customer's got literally zero protection. And what they said, when I obviously queried this, they said someone has, you know, raised an issue, and all you got to do is click this one button here. That's all you've got to do. Yeah. Or you can go and obviously go to the help and submit a case that way. But you don't have to do much to actually report something. And what they have said in an email originally, before this actually turned to a complete red, when it was an amber, they said this. I basically said, I opened like a case, right? And basically on their website and just said, you know, what's going on? Can you advise? How does this process work? What do you know, how do you vet that person is actually legitimately putting in a case or a claim? Okay, because it's, you know, I want to understand how they obviously do it. So, you know, they've escalated to the trust and safety team. Perfect, fine, no problem. So then I've advised there, obviously, a bit more detail what's going on, okay? Just to give them a bit of information. I basically just said, I bought this in between yesterday. Yeah, exactly what I just told you a minute ago, I've said here. And they said, hi there, thanks for reaching out. I understand your frustration, the item is disabled from blah, blah, blah. We received the user report that the item may be stolen and that the item has suspicious activity in its transfer history. Now, that's a really important point, because there is zero suspicious activity in the transfer history, okay? If you just want to go back and look, this is the transfer history in its complete, like, everything. There is nothing here that looks weird. The way that you can normally tell if there's weird stuff is if an account has a little, like, you know, suspicious activity on it, or if someone's done like an instant flip. For example, if someone picked this up at 0.001 or something, and then it's just dumped into me, or they've dumped into me like at a really stupidly cheap price, like zero. So I basically put an active bid in at 0.001, which is completely not relative to the floor price, and they've accepted it. It looks suspicious, right? But there is nothing in here, because the floor price for this was at 0.169, and this was actually this was the wrapped ETH floor. So the floor that people were bidding was this price. So there was nothing suspicious here. Obviously, back in the day, 9 months ago, this NFT was this price, okay? And obviously, nothing happened with this NFT until 4 days ago. Then there was that stolen NFT kind of thing that went on to say that there was an issue. So in theory, he's basically saying that I've stolen his NFT. That's what it seems, because it was fine all the way, you know, it was fine from 9-10 months ago, as in this NFT wasn't, you know, flagged for anything. And then less than 24 hours later from me doing it, then there's the issue. So this could be a potential hack/exploit with Opensea, because all you have to do, if you look at their email, is I'll just go on further. This item is now under review. Blah 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 blah. We disable transaction of this. I mean, I can move this NFT if I really want and stuff like that. But if we receive a police report within a 7-day period, buying and selling this item will continue to be disabled until we and they will issue a refund of 2.5%. Great. So thanks. Please keep in mind if we basically it's saying that if they receive a police report in 7 days, then that NFT's frozen. I can do nothing as a customer to say it's fine, even though I can go in here and clearly show there is nothing weird about it. I've just explained that for the last 9 months, why hasn't, if it's been stolen, why have they waited 9 months until the minute that I bought it? I mean, I know I've done nothing fraudulent or nothing suspicious. I put a wrap teeth bid in across every NFT that exists on the platform, and someone has accepted it. Now, not to say that someone's account hasn't got hacked, and then they've obviously, for example, whoever had this NFT here, someone accessed their account and then started accepting all the wrap teeth bids for all their NFTs, then transferred out the Ethereum. That's very possible, but how was that my fault? That's all I'm trying. It's like the whole point of Web3 and being a custodial owner of your funds, meaning there isn't any like fraud protection, is that if you get anything hacked or anything happens to your NFTs because you've done something to expose that, maybe not using a ledger, Nano S or X, then that's on you. That's the whole point of it. But in this instance, it seems that it's the opposite, where I'm the one being penalized for just doing what you're meant to do. The whole point of having a wrap teeth bid, anyone can accept it. They've accepted it. It just seems really bizarre almost that a company like this, all they really need is a police report. I mean, I can just go and say, look, my NFT got stolen. And they'll be like, right. And they'll be, look, I didn't do this. Someone must have got access to my account and transferred it out and paid me for it. That sounds very suspicious. Someone's paid me for my NFT, and it just seems bizarre. And like now that this has happened, I'm almost thinking what the fuck is going on? Almost, and that's a bit of a rant. And ultimately, it's not the end of the world because it is like a cheaper NFT. If it was something a bit more expensive, I'd be even more pissed, right? The only thing I can think about to do on this is just trying to dump it on another website. First, I'm going to obviously see what they say, right? But I don't believe I'm going to get anywhere because they're ultimately going to be useless. Because that's what people have said with a lot of Opensea's issues, is that they aren't good at anything relating to customer services. Hacks. Opposite of hacks in a way. I've been hacked because I've been hacked without being, I just really thought that all the hacks were done. They're not, and you can get hacked by basically someone. I might as well accept a wrap teeth bid, get the cash. In theory, in a way, it's almost worth trying because I want to see what they've done. Like, I want to try to understand how they've done that and got away with it, if you kind of get what I mean. Like, even if someone needed to hack their account and accept the wrap teeth bid and transfer it out, that could be them. Because it's, you can't trace these wallets and stuff as easy as you can bank accounts. So they could, how's there any different than them accepting it, transferring it out and go, oh look, someone accessed my account yesterday and they must have sold it into wrap teeth and transferred it out. Well, that could have been them. And it's just like hilarious in a way. It's like, oh, I almost want to try this to see how it could have happened to me. Like I need to understand that like missing link there of understanding. Now, they might come back and provide more information. I literally asked for the police report. I was like, well, okay, send me the police report and I'll read into it and see if there's any inconsistencies. Like I was like a lawyer or something. Because I want to see what they have said has happened. And then I want to see if it matches up with activity and so on and so on. So, I'll keep you up to date on this. It's really, really interesting to follow along. But ultimately, what am I going to do? I'll have to try to dump it. Although no one's probably going to buy it. The only thing I can think of is to hold it, maybe get some airdrops in the future, sell those airdrops, cover the cost, something like that. They have done an airdrop, so they may do more in the future. So, I'm going to leave the video there, everyone. Bit of a hilarious video, to be honest, but all fun and games. Can't really worry about it. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.